Ah, damn it. No, it's not a different day. I had a haircut, which I got the other day, and I changed my clothes. So, let's proceed, shall we? In episode 21, Weisel hatches a plan where a Minosaur can swap lives where animals will die and the ghost of people will be brought back to life. So, this show states it, reincarnation is real, and two important characters are particularly brought back, Tankijo and Master Pink, and it just so happens that Master Pink is the host of the Minosaur. I do not know how Creon managed to create a Minosaur from a ghost or just someone dead in general, and the two-parter does not explain how. So, this also marks the debut of the Shadow Raptor and the Shine Raptor that, if used together, become the Cosmo Raptor. Now, the two together and divided also carry with them Ryusouls, the Kuronami Soul, and the Cosmo Armor. Those are the names. The Kuronami Soul and the Cosmo Soul. So let's talk about their armors. I definitely like the Kuronami armor a lot more because it's a lot darker and edgier. Whereas opposed to the Cosmo armor, it's not bad, but that metallic side it offsets yet balances with the dark side, and I just have bias there. It just, not to mention their power sets, which I will talk about in a little bit. Holy shit. Yeah, like what I said, new armors and new Zords, but I'm not going to talk about their mech formations. Come think about it, I'm not going to talk about a lot of mech formations in this show because they're just more auxiliary Zords being added on, and that's about it. I like the one with Shadow Raptor and Kishiryuu Neptune, and that's about it. But in episode 22, after a long battle from the last episode, Ko is taken into the afterlife by Tankijo and is saved by Shine Raptor because the Velociraptor Zords are the Bio Rider of this show. Shadow Raptor has the power of black holes, and Shine Raptor can travel through any dimension, basically making themselves a win button. So, in order to stop the villains, Ko goes to face of the Minosaur alone in Kishiryuu Cosmo Raptor, while the rest of the team battle Tankijo. At the end of this episode, Master Pink tells Asuna that she was her worst student, and that's why she picked her to be Ryusoul Pink, because she's herself and that's all she needs to beat the Droidons. And I mentioned that first because Asuna takes on Tankijo herself. And in mid-battle, she loses her sword, so Master Pink throws her own sword. And the way they beat Tankijo is that they all send their energy attacks to Master Pink's sword, where Asuna drops the hammer on Tankijo, killing him. This is where I started to like Asuna a lot more as a character, and looked back at it prior to realize she's pretty cool. I wanted to mention the ending first to explain why the build-up felt so awesome, and it shows how far they've come since episode 1. So, in episode 26, The Seventh Night, we are introduced to another character from the Ryusoul tribe named Nada, and later on in the episode, the purple and silver figure, Ryusoulger, shows up out of nowhere and stomps out the Ryusoulgers. And put two and two together, Nada is Ryusoulger. Gotchulus also returns in this episode after retreating to space from almost dying from Kishiryuu Neptune. Oh, in episode 27, we get a dual set of Kishiryus of a parent and child Pachycephalosauruses. Pakigaru and Chibigaru. Chibigaru is adorable, and oddly enough, his voice actor is Maui Imichi, Gokai Yellow. Like, if I was into collecting plushies, I would want one of him and give it to my little sister because he's just adorable and plucky. And Paki and Chibigaru can also form onto 3 knights, making another auxiliary formation. So let's talk about the Doshin armor. It looks pretty cool. It's not too bad. Green's a good color, and I like the fact that one head's bigger than the other. And when I first saw this, I was kind of wondering why both weren't so big, but then I realized it's the parent and the child. Not to mention those hands. Like, those hands are enough to freaking box with Kamen Rider Super 1 using the power hands and Kuga Ultimate and, hell, Kamen Rider Knuckle. And what's another one I can think of? Oh, I still have another one too. Kamen Rider Ghost, either using Edison or Newton. Wait, does Edison involve no, just Newton. Anywho, episode 29 going into episode 30, Nada and Gaisorg are revealed to be one and the same, and the power of the Gaisorg armor goes back years. Whoever dons the armor will go crazy and eventually die. Nada was able to wear it because of his weak heart, and after I'm sorry, I blanked out for a moment. Nada was able to wear it because of his weak heart after being passed over by Ko to be a Ryusoulger. And it's really dangerous because it can warp your mind, and by the end of the episode, like, Nada slashes Ko in the back, completely injuring him into the next episode. And now, that brings us to the last Kishiryuu for this show, Pterodon. He starts off in an egg because a while back he escaped getting sealed away and ran into trouble that put him into an egg. It eventually breaks out of its seal on his own and cracks that it's a bird. It's a plane. Okay, I tried doing a Superman joke, didn't work. Let's just Pterodon. It can become its own Megazord, so I actually will talk about it. Yokuru O. It looks good. It's not too... Yeah. Sorry, accidentally... Yeah. Yokuru O. It looks good. It looks... I don't know why I can pay attention to the Lego-ness of this particular mech as opposed to the others. I don't know. Right now I'm probably just staring really hard at the picture. But the point is, it looks good. Don't really know what I can say about it, except, here's something. This is something that I thought of the other day. Like what I said, the other Zords being able to combine with other stuff. What I wish this show did more of was use the first 4 Zords for other combinations. Because for Yokuru-O, I can totally imagine this combined with Triken, Mirror Needle, and Tiger Lance. I would say Enkidu's too, but I can't think of anywhere for it. But with those 4 together, it would look pretty cool. Oh, and like all the others, Pterodon also has a Ryusoul, the He Soul. So let's talk about that armor. This actually looks awesome. And I really like the color of blue for it. And it's first worn by Red, because of course it is. But Ryusoul Blue wears it a lot later. And it looks a lot better on him. But because it was first seen on Ryusoul Red, this is a legit thought, that what if Pterodon was like a totally special super Zord that if you wear the armor, you will turn blue because the suit's blue too, so it would be two blues for design and that would look great. And so imagine Ryusoulger if he was blue wearing that suit. I just think that would look nice, but that's just me. The point is, it looks nice, and it gets ice powers. And as for Nada, Ko is pretty insistent on getting that armor off of him, although Bamba knows Nada personally and is going, nah. But after they properly receive Pterodon, they're on board with it. In episode 32, they finally take care of the Ryusoulger armor by stripping the evil out of it, so now Nada's in control of it as an extra ranger. Yes, I would consider Ryusoulger an official extra ranger. The design's not spandex, it's armor, and he only carries a shield and a sword that's a recolor of the Ryusoulger. And the armor itself is part of the tribe, so that's enough said for the connections. Actually like the idea of them being a team of 7. It's a good mix for the dynamics so far. That shakes things up. Until episode 33, someone hopefully to take seriously for the villains makes their way to Earth named Precious and sends their servant, which is the monster of the week, to search out for the Ryusoulgers. One by one, they all get captured, and it's up to Nada to save them. He does so, starting with Ko, and then he dies because he took a mean slash to the chest. And this is where things get weird. Alright, now, as a viewer, I'm only making an assumption, because once Nada dies, he turns into a device and soul for Ko's battleizer, and I have to ask, do members of the Ryusoul tribe not go to heaven and instead reincarnate in the toys? Keep in mind, this happened back in episode 1. Nada's coming and going, I don't think it was bad, but it was predictable when you think about it. And how he's written off just takes the cake, that he was written off. His whole point was just to introduce the battleizer. Because think about it. Bad guy we've been alluding to makes himself known. New character arrives. Drama happens. New character is the bad guy. He's not really a bad guy. And then dies in a brawl. I wouldn't even mind that the battleizer came from the armor through mysticism or whatever, but someone just died with their body, soul, all in that armor, along with it, and it just produced a new toy to sell. What even the hell was that? Seriously, even from episode 1, when you think about it now, I don't know, even if you think about it from episode 1, what even the hell? It's exactly what I mean. Do people in the Ryusoul tribe not go to heaven and just reincarnate into stuff? But what we got was Max Ryusoulger. So let's talk about that suit. This is a very badass looking suit. And I don't know why. For some reason, I thought it was too clunky. And it also, oddly enough, because Sentai doesn't really do battleizers that often, this looked like something that would be in originally Power Rangers. Like, dead serious. It looks like an original Power Rangers battleizer. But oddly, it's not. But just look at this suit. It's huge. He gets the claw. The helmet is stylized to an infinity. Not to mention, how can I even describe how he uses the Ryusouls? how do I describe it? It's kind of like a mix of, I don't know how I describe it. It's kind of like a mix of Kiwami arms and type Trideron. He can combine keys together, and heck, they could come alive in a system. Like, that's the closest I could think. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even have to think about it like Kiwami, just Trideron. But anywho, let's get down the line. Alright, now to tackle another issue with the show. And it's that it has way too many power-ups. At least there's a hierarchy between auxiliary ones and the Zord-related power-ups. But there are still way too many power-ups. Now, and there are enough for a whole team. I respect that there's a hierarchy in this system, but then you gotta compare it to KamenRider, where they had all 34 Sentai in their hands because there was a story as to why. This doesn't. Even with Gokai Silver Gold mode, it's not as bad because that's the only battleizer they had. This Sentai, however, has 6 or 7 gold modes. And episodes 34 and 35 are a pointless 2-part arc that's only importance is the debut of the final mech formation, King Kishiryuu, which consists of Teramigo, Mosarex, and Pteranodon. So even the show itself doesn't acknowledge all the other Zords. Alright, King Kishiryuu. It's not bad. Once again, it's the colors that offset. Like, it's getting brighter. Like, I'm sorry, this is my thing with the other combinations in this show. They're just getting brighter. And like I said before with Gigant Kishiryuu and how it's red, gold, cobalt, navy, or whatever that shade of blue is. Well, to me, it's either cobalt, blue, or navy. And orange, and how it didn't really gel well together. Well, it's not that these colors don't gel well, maybe, but it's just getting brighter. Because what's part of it? Red, gold, silver, navy or cobalt blue, light blue, and white. And it's just so bright that, I don't know, it just doesn't particularly do anything for me. Like, if you're a fan of this combination, sure. There are some nice accents to it that I can't think of, but that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me or not. And so, episode 38, there's one more important character to mention that plays a part now. Seto. He's a ghost from centuries ago that when he was alive, he sealed away the Kishiryus for the day the Droidons would return. He possesses Yui's dad because he disturbed his slumber during an excavation, and he shows up from time and then to help them. I bring him up because he sends everyone on a quest to obtain the series' final power-up via the Ryusoulger caliber. The point of the quest pays off a few episodes later with the final antagonist of the show. But right now, let's talk about the noblest form. Really, they didn't need another power-up. Like, they already have so many as it is. Like, let me think about it. Not just the auxiliary ones, but the main ones. The Mira Mira Soul, the Doshin Soul, the Biribiri Soul, the interchangeable, the Kurinami Soul, and the Cosmos Soul. I think, did I mention the Doshin Soul? Or if I did or not, correct me. The He Soul, the Max Real Soul armor that Red has. And now they just get a cloak. They just get a huge cloak that looks too big on them, as well as a sword that doesn't even contrast with the cloak, and it's it's just unnecessary. Like, I get like, if it was just the sword alone, sure. But then you just added a cloak along with it that you could have done without. And so, episode 39, it's the Christmas episode. Blah, blah, blah. Gotchaless dies at the end.
Get the fuck out!
We really haven't talked about Kreon at all throughout this whole review. He's just been the one who makes the monsters, and that's it. He's a weenie, but like, he's the type of weenie that you could sympathize with. But okay, here's the thing too. Once Precious, once the Precious like brings back the mother of the Dorudons, Eris, because that's his plan. Like, Ryusoulger and Kreon are gonna go away and not to Canada. So Kreon is in a jam. Like, in one episode, Kreon steals the Ryusoul caliber and then gives it back to the Ryusoulgers. Like, because he's conflicted, his life may be at stake and he doesn't want to die. So doing whatever, like going to the Ryusoulgers for help, and like Ryusoulger too, well, here's the thing. That happens at the end of episode 41. But at the beginning of episode 42, Kreon suggests to Ryusoulger to go to the Ryusoulgers for help. And they don't do that. And Ryusoulger then supposedly dies after a battle with Ko. And there's such a mood whiplash here. They could be in danger from their own forces, and yet they want to destroy the Ryusoulgers. But that's not the most damning part. The most damning part is Kreon grieving over Ryusoulger as if he was an actual guy. But no, like, he wasn't, but he was a good guy to Kreon, and maybe that was the point, because to us, the audience, it looks like Ryusoulger was destroyed and good, another enemy dealt with. Like, there's nothing with Ryusoulger to sympathize with, so why would we care if he died? Like, and coming off the last episode too, where it looks like they're both in danger, like, you can't do that. Hell, and long story short, Ryusoulger's not even dead, so what was even the point?